the garden. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Hardcore. Yeah, we're going undercover. We have to be unrecognizable now. So, this is how's this, huh? Hopefully, unrecognizable now. Almost. The oil reserve is almost running dry. Yes. Welcome. We have a lot of news for you today. If you're just joining us, I would like to say good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and all between the binary. This is Get Informed with Waji. I'm Wajih Lion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have a good one for you today. If you are on the East Coast, it is 10:26. If you are in the what? Let's see, different time. This is. Let's see, where did I go? In London, it is 4 p.m. Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, we are looking at 6 p.m. And then between Dubai and there's not a big difference between Dubai and the UAE. It's going to be about 7 p.m. So we are looking at 7 p.m. Tehran time. And not Tehran time. Tehran time would be probably 8 p.m. So sun is going down, but it is summertime, so it's still going to be a little bit bright right now. United States probably preparing to conduct another attack at some point. Uh, I feel like this is something to be expected at this moment. At this point, I have one of those things on my phone all the time. It gives me all the times I want, as much time as I want of all the cities. So I have it divided where I could see a good timeline. Yeah. So Sydney is already Saturday. Tokyo is already Saturday, by the way. So if you're looking at this timeline, we have a few more hours for the United States to prepare to conduct another attack. Uh, the United States has a saying they like to own the night, and meaning that they usually start operating really late at night when it's really dark. So we'll see what happens. My spider senses is going off. My gaydar is going off. I feel like there's some stuff about to happen. Maybe I hope I am wrong, but if I am right, we'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, if you're just joining us, the current situation, the guns have fallen silent in the Middle East after 2 days of delayed strikes between the United States and Iran as mediators negotiated attempts to get diplomacy back on track. As I said 2 days ago, you'll see some Gulf states running around from one place to another, begging the United States to end this war and begging Iran to bring this war to an end. But we'll see what they can do. We'll see what they can do. Iran is gonna be like, well, America did not fulfill their. America never did. Never. America. Israel. Look at what Israel's doing in Lebanon. So you have this situation happening. Iranians, in my own opinion, on and on again, have showed the United States that they own the escalation ladder and that when it comes to the game of chicken, they're always not willing to swerve as much as the United States is. And that gives you an idea. Is Trump gonna go crazy at some point? I don't know. My biggest issue because the ones that have been most predictable so far is the Iranians. Iranians made it clear: you attack any of our, you attack any of our land, we attack you. You don't follow our Strait of Hormuz, we attack you. Two things. They have not been so much focused on Lebanon, but they have every once in a while attacked based on the attacks that are happening in Lebanon. So, what do we expect from this? I expect that negotiations will continue. And according to Al Jazeera, US officials have told them that Washington remains committed to negotiations with Tehran and technical talks continue. So Trump comes out and says, "Oh, I don't care. Oh, yeah, the Iran stupid deal. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. You know what? Kushner, what cough? Come. Let me give you the file. I'm too tired, man. I need a Coke and a KFC. I'm gonna have to find something else. Yeah, no. This is taking too much. And reduce the resources you use. I need the Cuba. I need to take over Cuba. Yeah, Havana sounds very nice. Ah, Trump Resort in Havana. Yeah, Havana Resort, Trump. You don't think it's cool? It's much closer to us. We'll make it all gold, okay? Gonna make it fabulous, spectacular. Habibi Havana. Oh, I used to smoke Cuban cigars. Now I quit tobacco. So, Cohiba Havana, Habibi, Trump is coming to you. Yeah, Habibi, Cuba, wake up. Move your island somewhere else. Put some. I know you can't move it easily, but figure it out. Call some scientists. Call Russia. Have them move the island. Have them drag it. Figure out. You're too close. You are too close. Maybe contact customer service, Mother Earth, move it. I don't know. Trump doesn't even smoke cigars. Why does he want to take Cuba? I don't know. Poor Cubans. What do you think will happen, huh? You think the Cubans will just let it happen? Yeah, exactly. It doesn't look too good. So I think, I don't know, Trump is tired from the war with Iran. He says, for all intent and purposes, they're scum. You know what a scum is? You? You know what a scum is? I bet you a whole bunch of people started looking it up as soon as Trump said that. You know what a scum is? Well, I know it's a curse word, but let me go look it up. From my cooking experience, scum comes out when you're cooking meat and the disgusting stuff comes out on top of the water. That's from cooking. It's disgusting stuff. Maybe you guys have different definitions for it. I don't know. These are vicious, disgusting people. They're over. That's it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. What else happened? Well, the shipping in the Strait of Hormuz has plunged during the renewed fighting during the a new blow to enter to the energy market, already reeling from the biggest supply disruption in history. Earlier this morning, with Malcolm Nance's podcast, we saw that if you follow the Iranian Easy Pass, you're good to go. If you do not use the Easy Pass, you are not good to go. Now, other ships that has nothing to do with oil, uh, including yachts, have been able to pass on the regular pass. Does that make sense? In the meantime, Palestinians in Gaza turned out in large numbers to pay their respect to an aid worker who set up World Cup screenings and was killed in an Israeli strike earlier, which is kind of crazy. A guy's job, he's an aid worker, nothing to do with any of the extremist organizations. right? And you'd think they would leave that alone. But no one is out of the touch of the Israeli government, not even you in America. No. You get blackmailed, even if you're a U.S. government official. You'll get spied on. A lot of people don't know how much Israeli capabilities fall under the ability that they are able to spy on all of us. If you have a computer, if you have a phone, if you have a laptop, if you have a tablet, if you have anything connected to the internet, they can hack you without you clicking on a link or opening an app or anything. They call it Pegasus. Pegasus is a hacking software that exceeds any other. When they hack into it, they can see everything you can see on your phone and more. So if you're a grassroots organizer and you have been outspoken and you're wondering why your organization might have been infiltrated so easily here and there, you might need to think twice because that is exactly the tools that the Saudi government was using to infiltrate the Saudi opposition. They went to the Israeli government, by the way, yes. I don't know if you know, but the Gulf state leaders, their private jets, the ones that are flying the king and the crown prince and the emir of Qatar, they were all cut to having devices uh, of anti missiles or something on their plane from Israel. They can all be against Israel, but by the end of the day, they all deal with it. But the point I'm making is they pay millions and millions of dollars to have access to our phones, and that's the Saudi government that's paying them. Imagine that that is your government resource. You don't need to pay you don't need to pay a fee. That you can do that as much time you want. You have people that get a salary and that's it. Yes, I talked about Khashoggi's assassination linked to Pegasus. Many people think Khashoggi's assassination was linked to the fact that he started working for the Wall Street Journal. The real reason that he was assassinated is because the Saudi government decided to pay Pegasus to hack him. And they immediately found out that actually they didn't hack him. They were hacking Umar bin Abdulaziz. The Saudi government didn't even try to hack Jamal Khashoggi at the time. They were trying to hack Umar. Umar is the Saudi opposition member, YouTuber, influencer in Canada. He goes around. He has enough money to travel around Europe and come back to Canada and the United States. Well, the Saudi government hacked him, and they found out that he was in direct communication with Jamal Khashoggi. And not only that, they were both working together on creating a an agenda, a program where they can where they can start recruiting people to become part of so called the electronic bees. The electronic bees' job was to combat Saudi propaganda on social media because the Saudi government has their own department, I'tidal, where they have millions and millions and millions of robot accounts on social media to control public opinion and control hashtags in the country. So the job of the electronic bees was to combat that particular aspect of the Saudi propaganda network. And as soon as they found out that he is in communicating with the Jamal Khashoggi became on the list of the people that need to be assassinated. And so the plan went forth. What did they use? They used Pegasus. What does Pegasus provide you? Pegasus provide you full access of anything that's on your phone, on your computer, on your tablet to the government that's paying for it or the government that's hacking. They know who you are. They know if you're cheating on your boyfriend, they know if you're cheating on your girlfriend, if you're cheating on your partner in general. They know if you're doing insider trading. They know who you're coming to. They know who you're going to. They have your GPS tracking. They have your blood pressure. They have your weight. They have your medical history. They got everything you got your phone access to. What do you mean, Wajih? I mean everything. Everything. So if you are in a network and you are even on Signal, all of the people on that Signal app, all of the people on the WhatsApp app, all of the people on the encryption app are also exposed. So not only you are compromised, but the people that you work with are also compromised. Does that make sense now? Do you understand why so many US officials are being blackmailed by Israel? Israel doesn't even need to send spies anymore to spy on them. They just hack their fucking shit. Israel, we love you. Don't hack me, okay? I don't even care if you love them or not. They'll spy on you regardless. Israel, please don't hack us. You are the strongest person in the world. Please just stop bullying. Just can you be a good friend? Aren't we supposed to be friends, America, Israel? We say shalom, we say lachem, we hang out together, we drink together, we go out together, we go to work together. Can we have honest conversation a little bit? Just a little. Let me talk to you. You think it's okay to spy on your friends? Is it okay to spy on your friend? Isn't that creepy? That's a little too creepy as a friend to continue spying on your other friends. Take a step back. I understand we are good allies, but too much, too much. Do we need to get a restraining order? Now you are talking to your friends to talk to my friends to talk to me. And what you're doing is you're trying to pass Section 219, 14, 17, so you can take full advantage of my sovereign rights. That you think that's being a good friend? I give you billions of dollars each year. You spy on me. I give you billions of dollars each year. You continue spying on me. I give you weapons each year. You continue spying on me. Why should I give you more stuff? You are a friend or an enemy? I don't understand. I want to know. I want to know. We're supposed to call you the our closest Middle Eastern ally. If this is our closest Middle Eastern ally, what does our enemy look like? Wallah, it's confusing. It's really confusing. They're a strategic partner. I'm sorry. According to every president, they didn't call them strategic partner. According to every previous president, they say this is our closest Middle Eastern ally and the only democratic country in the Middle East. And I quote, I'm not making this up. I'm quoting. It's not what Jay said. It's what they said. آه يا قلبي يا كت يا ما تسمع يا ما تسكت. Oh my dear tiny heart, so many times you hear shit, so many times you stay quiet. Let's hear what's the latest update in the news. So you have to understand what's happened, you know? So Trump basically broke his promise and attacked Iran during Ali Khamenei's funeral. Efforts are underway to revive the stalled ceasefire talks between Iran and the U.S. following the latest spat of attacks by American forces on several locations on five Iranian provinces. Qatari negotiators are rapidly in Iran to meet with the Iranian officials in an attempt to create conditions for a new round of talks and to de escalate tensions between the two sides. What did I tell you 2 days ago? I gave you that exact scenario. After the US and Iran attack each other, what happens? One of the Gulf states starts talking to everyone. Yalla khalas habibi. Hello. Hello. Yes. 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 Please, we'll talk about it. Can we sit down to talk about it? Can we talk about talking about it? Okay, let's talk about talking about it. No, okay, I'm gonna come to you. Can I come to you? Okay, I'm gonna come to you today. Yalla, yalla, I'm coming. That's exactly what's happening. Like they're trying to convince the Iranians. That's it. Khalas, let's end the war. Let's talk about talking. No, you don't want to talk about it? All right, all right. Can I come to you at least? Yes, that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. The latest round of de escalation efforts came after the U.S. carried out airstrikes and killed 14 people and injured 78 others, according to the Iranian health ministry. Airports, logistic networks, maritime surveillance assets, and also railway in northern Iran were all targeted. Iranians say that the latest strikes have increased the mistrust between the two sides, especially after the latest statement by Donald Trump during the NATO summit in Turkey, when he unilaterally ended the MOU as a result. Iranian officials say the MOU is not built on trust, but rather commitment for commitments. Here's what's funny: Trump came up with these decisions on the spot as he's being asked questions. Like they're asking him questions and he's coming up with decisions during the time he's being asked questions on the spot. Like they asked him about, like, oh, what do you think about NATO? Uh, or what do you think about Spain? Oh, I'm not too happy about. No, I'm not. Oh, NATO, there is all good, just except for Spain. In fact, as I'm talking about Spain, I'm thinking about it. Cut all the trade. Yeah, they haven't been doing their homework. We asked them to participate. They don't want to participate. We ask them to give money. They don't want to give money. We ask them to invest their GDP in weapons. They don't want to. So why should we be dealing with them, huh? Cut the trade, habibi, cut it. What do you think we are? This is Trump ruling. I am the one talking here. Look at me. I'm talking to you. You either invest the number we tell you to invest, or you sit aside in the corner. Time out. On the spot, he decided. That's it. No traveling, no visits, no trade, everything. Khalas. That's it. Over. The same time, and the same time, he made the same decisions with Iran. MOU's over. Yeah. What are you telling me about the MOU now? I was in a good mood sitting there with the guy that calls me daddy. I was talking about good stuff. Why you ruin my mood? You know what? Fuck you. Because you asked me about Iran, I will do this. Fuck the MOU. I'm done with it. I will not talk about it. You want to ask anything? Ask Jared Kushner or Steve Woodcock. From now on, I am done talking about Iran. Okay? They're scum. I'm done talking about Iran. Khalas. Don't ask me any more questions. He came up on that. I swear to you, he came to. There's no way he didn't came up with that on the spot. No way. There's no way he didn't come up with that on the spot. Think about it. Think about it. He's literally being asked questions, and then he's saying statements, and then his advisors are like, "Oh shit, we got to work on this now." No one said shit about this until now. Okay, okay. I guess we're done with the MOU, guys. Start the attacks. Pete Hegseth, Patricia, Yalla. Maria Rubio's poor girl doesn't know what to do. Her Cinderella sandals is not fitting. The other thing no one is talking about is that Trump is the one that retreated from his promise not to carry out attacks against Iran during the funeral commemoration of the late Supreme Leader Ali Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. So you made a promise. You made the promise, Baba Trump. Habibi, let's talk about it. Didn't you promise me? Did I make the promise? You said start your engines, go. You said khalas, Strait of Hormuz is open. Believe it or not, this came out a minute ago. Russia is sending engineers back to Iran, Bushehr nuclear facilities, to so they're basically after the US has launched an attack on the Bushehr nuclear plant, uh Russia sending 6 of its employees into Iran to build it back up, help build it back up. And for the large part, there has been a large evacuation from the area because of that. And according to 20 minutes ago, the Qatari diplomacy seems like it's doing something. Iran has asked to continue talks, and the US has agreed, says Trump. So maybe we are not going to attack. Maybe we are not going to attack today. I'm feeling a little better about it. I'm feeling a little better. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little better. We may not attack. There's a good possibility we may not attack. President Donald Trump says the U.S. had agreed to talk with Iran after Tehran asked to continue negotiations. Qataris were like, okay, can we just say that you said this? So Trump says, okay, 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 khalas. But he added that the ceasefire between the two nations is over. No ceasefire. So as long as the ceasefire is over, what's the point of negotiation? That means your oil is going to be paused every time that there's an attack. But how ships will continue to go through the Strait of Hormuz, not through the Strait of Hormuz, through the Easy Pass. Let's see. Switch to questions. Wow. Was that your spy disguise? Yeah, my sunglasses was my spy disguise. That's the best I could do. I didn't go to spy school. So I figured, I have as a disguise, you put sunglasses. Well, Jake, can you see that you have two white circles in your middle of the eyes? Yeah, that's because I have what they call a ring light. A ring light that so every time I go live, the light in the room is off, and I only have my background light, and I have this light, and that's because that's what I learned in recording is that you want it dark and you only make certain things light up to bring in more attention. A lot of people make mistakes when they're doing recording. So a good tip for you is that turn the lights off. You don't want a headlight above you because it distracts from the lights that coming directly toward for the camera. The camera is coming this way. It's not coming from there, right? So light that comes directly this way, that way, so the camera can catches your facial expressions better, so you can have better spotlight on the speaker. But if you have a top headlight, it looks weird. It doesn't look very nice. So the circle that you see is the ring light. At some point, we're going to invest in studio lighting with your investments in our podcast, of course. This is not funded by any corporations or private organizations or public organizations. This is solely funded by listeners and and readers like you. We try to publish at least an article a day and come out at least twice a day live. Once with Malcolm Nance on the Black Man Spy, and at least once with me. We're scheduling an interview with a fella from Georgetown University to talk about Syria, talk about Palestine, talk about a few other things. I only bring you the best of the best. So when we talk about something, it's coming with a lot of trust. I don't bring you uh, any type of speakers. I do my homework. I do my diligence. I make sure that these people are the considered the top voices when it comes to these issues. Um, what chat can we ask questions? You can ask your questions here, my friends. When is Donald Trump going to visit his good friend Mitch? I don't know. Donald Trump, if he visit Mitch, that means Mitch probably is alive. So Donald Trump, go visit your friend. Visit your friend. I know he doesn't talk much, but at least tell us he's alive or not. CNN wants a 60-second video. I don't care. I just want to know he's alive or dead so we can move on. The country needs to move on. His political position needs to move on. We have elections toying with people's voices, toying with people's power. This is not okay. This is not what America agreed on. Don't drag things that aren't supposed to be dragged. If he's not fit to be in office, he's not fit to be in office. We do this with the president. Let's do this with everyone else. Yalla. I wish him and his family all the well, but his wife is not even in the country. She left. I'm suspicious of his wife at this point. Why did she go to China? I have more questions than I can give you answers. So, Mitchie, Habibi, if you are awake and you're seeing this, tell us you're okay. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Or do this. Do something. Let us know. Was or that? Is it that? Yeah, it's that. Do that. Let us know. Do you need intervention? Are they keeping you hostage, my friend? Are they doing to you what they are doing to Mushtaba Khamenei? Is it the same thing? Why did your wife all of a sudden disappear, huh? La- Can I visit you? I just want to know you're okay. I'll bring you flowers. What's your favorite kind? You like roses? You like jasmine? I know you're old school. You must like jasmine. Old school people love jasmine. I also like jasmine. Wajih, if people are turning in for the first time, you look mafia, Jesus. Will you be my security guard? You know what? A lot of times I look like a security guard when I put my sunglasses on. That's not a bad thing, you know? It's a good disguise. I told you that was my spy disguise. That was my spy disguise. Everyone sees me, thinks, khalas. Secret Service. He's the Arabic intelligence officer. Homeland Security. Even though these motherfuckers dress like everyday people, I don't know if you know. I have met few people from the FBI. They dress like everyday people. You wouldn't even notice. If you can recognize a spy being a spy, then he's not a spy. There are some positions you have to recognize as security, but others who are undercover, they look like everyday people. They look fat, they look ugly, they look beautiful, they look everything. If you suspect that they are a spy, they're probably not a spy. Unless you're really good at your job and you've been trained to, point out spies and pointing out people who are tailing you and shit. I'm not trained on any of it, but I know some people get trained on it. These are questions good for Malcolm and Jacob. Maybe Malcolm should give me training on how to be a spy. Yeah, someone is asking about moving Cuba. Man, I'm telling you, Cuba, you had the nuclear problem early in the Cold War and the Cuba crisis. Oh my God, this is acting stupid. Better. In Cuba, you are the Cuban Missile Crisis during the Cold War. You have other issues. What do you want to do, huh? You have to let them move. Cuba, you gotta put some engines on your island. Mashallah, there's so many questions today. I appreciate it. I'm going back to the top. requesting level earthquake level 4.7. Am I cosplaying as DJ Khaled? Do I look that much like DJ Khaled? DJ Khaled. I heard he's Palestinian. When is the Supreme Leader burial? He was buried yesterday. Good morning, Professor. I'm not the professor yet, but thank you so much. So, does Trump think that the Saudi government is working with Iran to kill him? No, he doesn't suspect Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia wouldn't do that. Yeah, no, Saudi Arabia is too invested in Donald Trump. Donald Trump is their savior compared to any Democratic leader and most Republicans. He's giving Saudi Arabia way more than any other president would. And I'm actually working on a research paper, a document to publish to investigate all the Trump connections with the in the Middle East financially. Stay tuned. I'm thinking about publishing it for tomorrow. Since I already published my article for today, I think taking it easy and publishing a little bit less helps me a lot in terms of being able to do it more and more in the long run. And if I feel like if I do several a day, it feels very nice. I make more money every once in a while, but it's too exhausting. So I'm thinking about writing a little less, but making sure that it's thoughtful about what I'm writing about. So you could be learning something new. I think Trump financial connections in the Middle East and following the money would be a very good one. So we'll see. Stay tuned. If you're interested in finding out what kind of connections Trump has in the Middle East financially, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you comment. Make sure you join the community. And if you can become a paid subscriber, please consider becoming paid subscriber. Let's see. The International Energy Agency says that U.S. Iran escalations undermine oil supply. The organization has been predicting a significant oil market surplus since 2027, but now says it might have to be revised its expectations. Back before this war, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have a surplus." Oh, they guessed wrong. They guessed really wrong. They had no idea what Patricia and Maria and Trump had in mind. Ay, ay. ¿Por qué Patricia? ¿Por qué Maria? It's Patricia Hegseth and Maria Rubio, if you are new here. Have you heard of Saudipedia? And do you have any thoughts about credibility? I found out about it through my work. I have not heard of Saudipedia. I should probably look it up. No, it's not installed via Bluetooth. I don't know how they hack you, but they can hack you. World Lab did a lot of work on it. Is it called World Lab or something? It's in Canada. Why are they merging then? Because the elite would benefit from that. The 1%, the establishment, they all benefit from that. Why are they're talking about why are they merging between the US intelligence and the Israeli intelligence with Section 219 and 1417? Is because people on the right, on the left, and who are establishment and millionaires and billionaires who don't care about everyone else and only care about their big pockets, yeah, that's what they will support. Why should they care about the Palestinian people? Why should they care about the Lebanese people? Why should they care about the war and 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 Hormuz if they are making money building weapons? If they're making money building AI that's being sold to attack people? What do you mean? They're making billions of dollars at the moment. So yeah, it's not so much did we get here? How did we get here? It's more like cinematic revival of what America is really. It's not much how Israel. You are being kind. Creepy stalkers. Oh yeah. I don't know why I'm seeing everyone's comments twice. Who trimmed your beard? I did it myself. Thank you for your compliments. I used to be good with a straight razor as well, but after 10 surgeries, I'm kind of nervous to start using a straight razor again. No, he did. What's going on, Brandy Dawn? Trump. She says Trump doesn't know shit. He thought the funeral was over last weekend. I'm pretty sure. They have a funeral for more than a day. I mean, Iranians particularly told him how long the funeral is. They were informed with details about how long the funeral is. So no, there was no questions about how long the funeral is, unless he really has Alzheimer's and he forgot about it. The Iranians already know what WTF wrong with this person, but that's why they have psychiatrists and therapists advising them on how to exactly respond. They are just willing to wait it out more than the Americans are. And to me, Trump's action seems more like a tantrum more than an actual act of trying to give this to an end. Because if he really tried to get this to an end, he wouldn't be doing all of these attacks. These seem more like an act of like a child, if I'm being honest. Like, give it to me. No, no, give it to me now. Mom, tell Ron to give it to me. No, I want the remote. I want the TV now. They won't let me do anything. They want to me to watch exactly what they want to watch. Yeah, it's called the Easy Pass. It's a really annoying show. I'm gonna hit you. Tell me I'm wrong. I haven't seen a Lego video in a minute. One question is asking: Is Iran still putting out Lego videos? I haven't seen one in a minute. Are there American troops waiting to go into Iran? Haven't seen any preparing on that. There has been talks that Iran keeps getting them ready and then not ready and then getting them ready and then not ready. Uh, the question is are the American troops somewhere waiting to get deployed into Iran? We'll see. The U.S. keeps saying, huh? Hexeth, do you mean I have to not bomb anyone for like a whole week because of a funeral? A funeral is one afternoon. Like I need some dude with guns and bombs because I feel like. Where's the question? I don't see the question. That's more like a comment. Okay. Why do you think Trump dumb bribe Force One? Trump's Air Force One is not prepared to be an Air Force One, even though I spent $900 million on it to make it into Air Force One after we got it. The reality is that the plane is not up to code for being an Air Force One, to the point that the Secret Service begged Donald Trump to use the old Air Force One instead of his new gifted one to go back to the United States. So he was so pissed off and so sad that he was having to travel back to the United States using Air Force One. And the reason is that the Air Force, the Secret Service was like, we're in war with Iran. We don't know if they're going to try to attack you, and if you are in the new Air Force One, we can't protect you as much as if you're on Air Force One, the old one. So that's just kind of like the thing. And then how is not giving him a plane not a bribe if the plane is going to his library after he uses it during his administration? He's the only one that's going to be able to get to use it, and the plane is designed not to for a U.S. presidential leader that needs to rule a nuclear country. It was designed for the Sheikh of or the Emir of Qatar, a king that is designed for comfort. It's designed for luxury. Designed for opulence. It's not designed to have a nuclear bomb control command and run the whole world from the sky. That's not what it was designed for. So even though they spent $900 million on a plane like that still wouldn't be up to date for all of these standards. That's why it's still taking so long for the U.S. government to continue building the new Air Force One that they're expecting, because they need to make sure that it is up to code for Air Force One and for the Secret Service, so the president can rule in the sky and have command control from the center of the sky if anything goes wrong, survive nuclear blasts, and so on and so forth. These presidential planes are meant to go up to Mach speed, and that's not something that you can like do easily. So just think about all of these things. It's meant to stay in the sky for days on end. So these are not things that you can accomplish just regularly. They have weapons attached to them. They have radars attached to them. So like it's one of the most complicated things that have ever been on the sky. Period. And Trump's plane is not designed for that. I explained why they had to switch plane. There was a question about why the president had to switch planes. I just answered that. If you want to see how it looks, I put a picture in the chat. Oh, I put a whole article about what it was and what it is and what is in it on my profile in the last in 2 weeks, I think. The plane is opulent. The plane is something beautiful. It is some. It's a dream to be had. Anyone would love to have it, but we spent more on it than it's worth. Do you think alternative fuel sources such as biodiesel, which can be used in all diesel engine, could be a way to use for to USA energy independence since we send all US sourced petroleum based fuel to other nations. Here's the thing about this type of thing. Maybe that we are in such shortage and demand now that this would be something that would be pushed forward. But you have to remember that one of the biggest issues that the US faces in Washington and on the state level is goddamn lobbies. Lobbies, petroleum lobbies don't want to see that. Petroleum lobbies have been lobbying against renewable energy. And same thing with renewable energy. The whole thing about the whole thing about Washington and state level officials. On state level, I don't know if you know, but lobbies literally write bills for uh, senators and representatives and governors, and they end up just posting that bill as is without any changes and is being voted on. So this is your Achilles heel. You need to do something about your lobbies, and that has to do with all of the industries, including the petroleum industry. The petroleum industry has been fighting very hard against these type of gases. Who led the prayer for Khamenei? Who led the prayer for Ali?
For the boxer Muhammad Ali, the prayer was led by Imam Zaid Shakir. For Ayatollah Sayyid Ali,
It was Ayatollah Jafar Subhani. He's the late leader, eldest son of Mustafa Khamenei, the previous supreme leader. Both led. Oh, sorry, and no, Ayatollah Jafar Subhani and the late eldest son, the son of Mushtaba, the son of Ali, Mustafa Khamenei, both led the funeral prayer following the death of the former Iranian leader. But Mushtaba himself was not to be seen. What about the plane that landed? Which plane? Did I see your earlier questions? I did see your earlier question. I don't know about Saudipedia. I just wrote it down. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't know anything about it. I This is the first time I'm hearing about about Saudipedia, so I have to look it up. Mama where? You're talking about Mama K? Where's Mama K today, huh? On the Saudi plane. What Saudi plane? Trump got a plane from Qatar, didn't get the plane from Saudi Arabia. Waji, is that how you used to have a temper tantrum? Yeah, we had temper tantrum like that when I was a child. Yeah, I did. But that's how I imagine Trump's tantrum as well as I feel like that was Trump tantrum as a child. No, I'm gonna hate you, and then leaves you alone, and then comes back. Give it to me, and then goes away, and then comes back. No, I want it now. Do you have an option on what will happen if our supreme leader passes during his term? Well, it's easy. The vice president becomes the president. No, the administration doesn't fall. The US government is a robust government that has a robust system of a chain of command that follows one person to another to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of positions in the US government. So if but you first of all you have the president, after the president, the vice president, and then the secretary of state, and then I think the secretary of war, and then the speaker of the house or something like that. So you got speaker of the senate, speaker of the house. I forgot, but there is a chain of command, and so far most of that chain of command is run by Republicans. So I don't see the administration falling. But I already answered who led the funeral prayers. How about someone make pay dough videos? I don't know. Mitch McConnell has landed in a plane along with an ambulance? Question mark. That's news to me. One news that you need to know: the Supreme Court has approved ending the asylum protection status of Haitian Americans and Haitians and Syrians in the United States, uh, ending millions of people's ability to work. Um, there is also another story that struck me a little bit, and is the black boy story that was with his white friends, and he was the only black boy, and somehow he ended up dead, and they all apparently don't know anything about how he ended up dead. They all returned home, and he's the one that was left there. I feel like that was something that stuck with me in terms of news. I don't know, man. There's questions that need to be answered, and it sucks when the police seems to be not taking the situation serious or dropping the case for some reason or another. and that a lawyer has to get involved for that to do something. Who's the black boy that was ended up dead, left by his white friends recently? Nolan Wells, an 18-year-old black college student athlete whose body was found dead after being left behind on a Mississippi island by his friends. While Nolan was an unmarried teenager, why is that married? The details regarding friends leaving him behind. Who's married at 18 in the United States now? The details regarding his friends leaving him behind aligns heavily with the details surrounding his death. The friends he was with returned to the mainland, so they were out in the water, and they returned to the mainland without him, leaving his cell phone and keys on the boat. According to the lawyer, there are text messages on his cell phone that were deleted. After a multi-agency search, Nolan's body was discovered in the waters on the northwest end of Horn Island on Monday, July 6, 2026. But there are more questions that there are answers on this as well. Wouldn't you? I wonder if the boat they were on had a radio on it. And I w- did his friends report his disappearance? According to the to Jackson County Sheriff Johnson Ledbert, a friend who was on the boat trip contacted the U.S. Coast Guard at approximately 11 p.m. on July 4th to report Nolan. When do we expected him to drown? Huh. When did he actually drown? So the exact time and date of Nolan's death has not been determined by medical examiners and authorities yet, other than the fact that he died on July 4th, the morning, and he was discovered on Monday 6th. He's still being pending autopsy. So I'm just trying to figure out when did his friend report him missing. 11 p.m. So he died at 3 p.m. or he was last seen at 3 p.m. and his friend didn't even report him missing until 11 p.m. there's something going on here. There's something there. I need more answers about this that have not been answered. I feel why I understand why the family feels like there's something shady about this. I definitely agree. I feel like there's more questions than there are answers, and I hope this civil rights lawyer helps them out and gets some answers for them. Do other things happen at the mosque? Yes. Mosques are considered a community gathering center. In Saudi Arabia, there are more stricter laws. In the Middle East, there are stricter laws because mosques has historically been a community gathering center, and a community gathering center can get political, and because it can get political, it can get very sensitive in the Middle East, and there you find out there's a lot of government spies at the mosques sitting there just to make sure that nothing is being crazy being done and stuff. But there's hundreds of thousands of mosques out there, and government doesn't have the ability to spy on all of them. Mosques are where you send your kids to memorize the Quran. They're where you send your. They're where you go for your Friday sermon. They're where you go for your evening lecture from the imam. And in the West, we call them community centers because we use them as actual community centers where, because many of us are diaspora members, we find a way to meet each other, do programs with each other, do open house for the public to visit us. Therefore, it becomes a community center. They provide school education for the kids, smart summer clubs. They provide summer camp depending on where you go. So no, mosques in the West are a community thing, especially in the Middle East. It has become strictly just a prayer. And some lectures that are sponsored by the government. And if they aren't sponsored by the government, people usually get in trouble, and usually you don't hear about it, but we know about it very well. Um, what else? Yeah, that's for the most part. Mosques are way more than just a house of prayer. Did you see this? Did you see his parents were on TV this morning with their lawyer? I did not see them this morning. No. Friends BS. I'm gonna turn this question thing back off, and now I can see your comments. How's everyone doing? I hope my answers provided some uh, answers to your my answers fulfilled your question needs. Did I miss anything? I'm gonna go into the chat. I'm gonna go into the chat. And I'm gonna see who needs a paid membership on the house. So if you cannot afford becoming a paid subscriber, after this live stream, go to my chat. Let me know that you need a paid subscription. I'll happily give you one on the house. If you can afford becoming a paid subscriber, please consider becoming a paid subscriber. We fully depend on your support. We do need your support. We're fully funded by readers and listeners like you. We are here because you asked us to be here. We are here because I'm here because I'm seeing people who are wanting to learn every day. And as long as people are asking to learn and asking for more information and have questions, I'm going to show up. As long as people are wanting to learn and get trained and make a difference and want me to be a part of that, I will show up. So thank you for supporting me. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, reading, watching my YouTube videos, and supporting that. It makes a big difference in my life. It makes me feel special. It also does help me live my day to day. It makes it easy. It makes worthwhile. People ask me like how like what do you feel like being working all day? And I'm like, yeah, I'm busy. I'm working all day most of the time, but like I really enjoy doing this. Enjoy it to the point where it doesn't feel like it's work, but that's the kind of thing that you need. But it is work. It is my current way of making living, and this is how we are making work is by you supporting us. And so, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for choosing to show up. And if you cannot afford supporting me, that's okay. You're still a member of the community. You're still welcome to have a membership on the house, and everyone is welcome. There's no one that is not welcome here. We want to push this message wide and far. Seems like I am going to find myself an actual different designer, someone that can devote more time and attention to the work that needs to happen to actually produce an image worth on being a page that conveys a story that needs to end the culture war and focus on the class war. Bonfire like basically gave up because basically there's edits that need to happen, mistakes that were made about characters. It wasn't culturally sensitive, and it needs to be a little bit culturally sensitive. It needs to have better cultural representation, and that wasn't happening. So I'm reaching out to another friend of mine. I'm reaching out to a friend of mine. I remember when Greg or someone offered to help out. If you're interested in helping me out, or if you're a designer or something like that, or an illustrator, I guess, tell me that you're interested. That's something that we could work on. We are talking with the guest speakers who are potentially coming over to our podcast. Deborah Shushan is a Georgetown fella specializing in Syrian conflict, specializing in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and we're planning on having her soon and figuring out what's works best for her schedule. So stay tuned and keep your eyes and ears open because there are important people that will show up who whose words are worth 1,000 words. And that's the kind of people I want to join and speak. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for coming in. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate you tuning. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching a recording, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And then join us on Substack. We appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. مع السلامة. Bye bye. بالإنجليزي goodbye. And what else? You may not fuck with politics, but politics will always fuck with you. I'll see you tomorrow.